Okay, here's today's job. This is a 2018 Ford Obnoxious, better known as an Expedition. Just changing the spark plugs. Nothing more exciting than that. But look at this fucking cover in the way. Oh, and also you can't do the spark plugs without one of these, a ladder, because this thing is so ridiculously high. I guess I should really get one of those special lean over ladders where you lay on it, but I don't want to do too many of these things. I don't like doing them, so I'm doing this because it's a friend. Having removed that cover, you then have to remove this cover, which covers the device there at the back. Not quite sure what it is, might be a fuel pressure regulator. Then you need to start removing the electrical connections. So you'll need a screwdriver there to push the little red tab back, push it in and slide it off. Then you will need to undo the nut that retains the coil. The spark plug coil. Duh. Then you should be able to get down to where the spark plug is. Let's see how that goes and see if I succeed. Now, the best method I have found for removing these electrical connections, which will be a pain in the ass, is to give them a good soaking of WD-40 or some kind of lubricant. Then obviously you pull the red tab back, this red tab here, hang on, that red tab. Then you've got to push down on the plastic and pull the plug backwards, but that isn't always easy. So what I do is I push it on first and then push the grey plastic down and then push it back at the same time. It's kind of tricky. I put a screwdriver in here and just gives me a little bit of leverage so that it comes out easier that way. Now you may have to work it a little bit. You know, I pushed it on, pulled it off, pushed it on, pulled it off. Well, not off because it didn't come all the way off. It was just a matter of moving it backwards and forwards so that it would eventually come off. Don't rush at this, you will break it otherwise. Just take your time, lubricate it, leave it for a moment, have a cup of tea, have a beer, come back to it. I've soaked them all ready ahead of time, but that I will soak them more when I actually do it. Okay, so that's just to get that bloody plug off. Now you can pull out this, which is the coil on plug. He says you can just pull it out. Hang on. Cool. Hang on, let me put the camera down. Well, after spraying WD-40 down the hole so that I could get this coilover plug out, grabbing a trusty trim tool and just gently working it up and down until finally it pops loose. Then you can pull it out. If you go at it heavy-handed, it will break. That's guaranteed. Okay, now when putting this back in, use dielectric grease around the rubber parts. Reason being that the next person that comes along will thank you, so that he can get, or she can get, these out without a struggle. These are put in by Mr. Ford without any consideration, and it just takes a lot of working to get it out. In all honesty, the spraying of the WD-40 probably didn't achieve much, because I didn't get to that ring there, this, whoops, hang on, to this ring here, and this is what's holding it in. So it's just a matter of gently working away at it, and don't be aggressive or you will break it, I guarantee it. Now let's get the plug out. That should be a simple matter. It is the standard plug tool. Hang on a second, let me grab it. The small one, what is it? It is a 5/8. and they're down quite a way, so you will need an extension. Okay, and let's see now. Strange camera work. I'm doing this one-handed just for you guys. No, I'm sorry, I can't do that bit one-handed. Hang on a second. Now, the reason I couldn't do that one-handed is the angle of it, I was likely to shear off the plug, and you really don't want to do that. So hopefully now the plug is loose enough. Now these have got a long thread on them, so be prepared for that. And there it is. These don't look terrible, but the car's got quite a few miles on it, so the owner wants it changed. When putting these back in, my personal preference is to use some anti-seize on it. I use copper grease. You use whatever you like, but I would suggest using some anti-seize grease. Again, this is so the next time they need changing, they come out easy. But obviously don't get the grease inside the on the end of the plug, just on the thread there. And that is it. Now go and do the rest of them. Put it back together, start it up, and go to your local bar and have a beer and celebrate. And hope that you don't break any of these things. As I said, just take your time, and it should be achievable. It's a couple of hours work, 2-3 hours work, because you have to take your time. Now get out in that garage and go do some shit.